Plotline, what is it? Let's be clear, when we're talking about narratives, we're talking about stories. And most stories around the world follow a similar pattern. We all know that stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They also have problems and solutions. Not only that, but great stories have some complications along the way. These help build tension, mystery, and excitement. And don't forget, those endings, they can be epic. Knowing the normal narrative pattern strengthens our reading comprehension and helps us write strong stories. The pattern of events in a narrative is called the plot. A plot line is a visual used to chart the key narrative elements. Let's break each piece down. First is the exposition. Writers call the beginning of a narrative the exposition because you exit your world and you take position in the world of the narrative. It always includes the setting and the main character. Next, you've got conflict, aka the problem. We're really good at this. Sometimes that conflict is internal, sometimes it's external. An internal conflict is when you have a problem with yourself. You can't make a decision, you do something you really don't want to do. External conflict is with other people. So it might be you versus one person or group. It might be you versus some type of technology, like your cell phone is taking over your life. Maybe it's you versus something in nature, a tornado, a hurricane. It might be you versus some supernatural being, a monster, alien, or it could even be a person you versus a whole society. You want to change a law or a way of thinking. The big thing is, without conflict, it is definitely not a story. It's just a list of events. Next, we have rising action. So once we've had the exposition, we know the background, the setting, time, and place where a story occurred, and we know some about the character. Then we have the introduction of the problem. Then we have rising action. So rising action is the series of events where the protagonist, the main character, tries to deal with the problem. Often they try 3 or 4 different ways in a short story book, or multiple ways in a novel, and things are just not working out. But what happens is there's an increase of tension, mystery, and suspense. It continues to build and build until we get to the climax. The climax is the most exciting, intense moment of the story. It's the part of the book that we've all been waiting and wanting. It's when the big problem, is dealt with head on. And good, bad, or ugly, that is the key moment, the turning point of the book. Because after this climax, we get the falling action. And the falling action all has to do with how the climax went down. So for example, if a knight is fighting a dragon and the dragon is defeated, then that's probably good. And he's probably going to get a lot of good things for that. He's probably going to get recognized by a king or queen. He might get riches. He may even get a princess. Who knows? However, if it's another story, someone likes another person and they go to tell them and they get rejected, that could have some negative consequences. You guys get the idea. But falling action is the series of events or consequences based on how that problem was handled, and the author gets to decide if they're positive or negative. The last piece is the resolution. Notice it starts with a re. Don't forget that prefix. Re means again. So a resolution or resolution, that means there is no more problem. Well, let me say, the main problem is no longer a problem. It has been dealt with. Now that character may have new problems in their life, but they're moving on. We know the resolution of a book because it feels like it's ended. And the main things that happen to make it feel ended is that the character has learned some lessons. They have grown, they have changed, and a lot of times they reflect back on what was different between the beginning of the book and the end of a book. So, in summary, knowing the plotline pattern helps us make predictions. It helps us understand and comprehend the text, and it also helps us recognize when the pattern changes, which can be exciting and it can be tricky. And best of all, it helps us write great stories. Don't forget, if I went too fast, on this video, you can always watch it again, go back, pause, take notes, watch it as many times as you need to. But a plot line is your best friend to comprehending a story. Thanks for watching.